You are losing money right now, at this exact moment. Not a figure of speech. There are people out there who bought a diesel truck thinking they were going to save a fortune and end up spending more than they would have with a gas-powered car because they did not drive enough to make it worth it. And there are people who bought a gas vehicle to commute long distances every week and basically live at the pump. 2 wrong decisions. 2 wallets full of regrets. After this video, you will not make that mistake. You will understand how each engine works on the inside, what that means for your wallet. And most importantly, you will have a simple formula to decide which one actually makes sense for your life. And at the end, there is one piece of information that most people who buy a used diesel truck do not know. A silent trap that can cost a fortune at the worst possible time. Do not go anywhere before we get there. Drop a like, subscribe, and hit the bell. 2 clicks that help this channel grow a lot. Deal. Let's get into it. A buddy of mine bought a diesel pickup truck. He was pumped about the fuel savings, ran the numbers himself, compared diesel prices to the regular he was running before and figured he would save almost $300 a month. The problem, he lived 5 miles from work, used the truck mostly around town to run errands. He paid about $15,000 more for the diesel. At $300 a month in savings, that is 4+ years just to break even on a truck he planned to keep for 10. The math does not lie, even when the salesman at the dealership does. That is the kind of decision people make when they compare fuel prices at the pump without understanding the full equation. Today, you will understand that equation. Both engines are internal combustion engines. That means the explosion that generates power happens inside the engine, inside a cylinder. Basic structure is similar: engine block, cylinder head, pistons, connecting rods. What changes completely is how each one starts that combustion. And that difference, which looks small on paper, changes everything. Behavior, fuel economy, maintenance costs, engine life. In a gasoline engine, there is a spark plug in each cylinder. That spark plug receives an electrical voltage above 20,000 volts, which is roughly 100 times more than a standard household outlet. That voltage creates an electrical arc between the electrodes of the plug, heats the gases around it, and kicks off a chain reaction of combustion. The air and gasoline enter the cylinder together before the plug fires. The mixture is homogeneous, evenly distributed. Think of a glass where you have already stirred your drink completely. The plug sparks, the mixture burns in a controlled way. The piston goes down, the engine turns. Clean, controlled. This is what most Americans know from their Civic, their Camry, their F-150. The diesel engine is a completely different animal. No spark plug, no coil, no electrical ignition system. None of that. Diesel uses pure physics. When you compress a gas rapidly, it heats up, and the diesel engine compresses the air inside the cylinder so brutally that the air gets hot enough to ignite the fuel automatically with 0 spark. That is why diesel is technically called a compression ignition engine. The compression replaces the spark plug. And there is more. During the entire compression stroke, there is only air inside the cylinder. The diesel fuel only enters when the air is already hot enough to ignite it. The injector opens, fires an ultrafine mist of diesel into the superheated air, and combustion happens. That initial ignition process, slightly uncontrolled, is what creates the characteristic knocking sound you hear from diesel trucks and semis on the highway. That is physics happening in real time. Like and comment below. Did you already know diesel runs without a spark plug? Let us know in the comments. Understanding ignition-compression ratio makes total sense. It is a simple number, the difference between the maximum volume of the cylinder when the piston is at the bottom and the minimum volume when the piston is at the top. Higher compression means more efficiency. Think of squeezing an orange. The harder you squeeze, the more juice you get. So why not build every engine with maximum compression? Because gasoline has an enemy called knock, or engine detonation. Knock is when the air-fuel mixture ignites on its own at the wrong spot in the cylinder before the flame front from the spark plug gets there. 2 flame fronts collide. The shock creates a pressure spike the engine was never designed to handle. Frequent knock destroys the engine slowly and quietly. You only find out when the repair bill shows up out of nowhere. And knock happens when compression is too high, because high compression means high temperature, and high temperature makes the mixture ignite too early. That is why gasoline engines run with compression ratios between 11:1 and 12:1. Turbocharged engines run even lower because the turbo is already forcing compressed airing. The diesel does not have this problem. During compression, only air is in the cylinder. No fuel. Nothing that can ignite ahead of schedule. That is why diesel runs with compression ratios between 15:1 and 23:1. Nearly double the gasoline engine. And all that extra compression turns into torque and efficiency. Torque versus horsepower. This is the difference you feel at the wheel. Torque is rotational force. Think of tightening a bolt with a wrench. The force is your hand. The distance is the length of the wrench handle. A longer wrench generates more torque with the same effort. Inan Anjan. The combustion is the force, and the distance involves the connecting rod length and crankshaft radius. Diesel generates more torque for 3 reasons that stack on top of each other. It has a longer stroke, which increases the distance in the equation. Higher compression creates a higher peak pressure, which increases the force, and diesel fuel has about 15% more energy per gallon than regular gasoline. In practice, a Ram 2.8 diesel delivers peak torque around 1800 RPM. You barely touch the throttle and you already have enough pulling force to haul a trailer weighing 12,000 pounds. An equivalent gasoline engine delivers peak torque up around 4,000 to 5,000 RPM. Have to actually get on it before that power shows up. But horsepower is different from torque. Horsepower is torque multiplied by rotational speed, and here the gasoline engine has a big advantage. It spins a lot faster. A standard gas engine redlines around 6,000 RPM. Sports engines hit 90,000. Diesel tops out around 4,500 to 5,000. Why does diesel not rev higher? Heavy-duty components needed to handle the combustion pressures create more inertia. The long stroke that generates torque makes high RPM destructive, and diesel burns slower. So at high revs, part of the combustion is wasted before the piston can use it. The result, less torque per explosion in the gas engine, but far more explosions per minute. In the end, more horsepower. Think of 2 workers on a job site. One big, strong guy who works at his own pace. Steady and powerful. One lighter guy who never stops moving. To move a concrete block, you want the strong guy to lay 150 bricks in a day. You want the one who does not quit. Diesel is for pulling power. Gas is for speed. Diesel efficiency is higher. A gasoline engine converts between 20 and 35% of the combustion energy into usable work. Modern diesel gets up to 45%. Add the fact that diesel fuel has 15% more energy per gallon, and the fuel economy difference gets significant. There's another factor most people do not know about: the air-fuel mixture. When you floor a gasoline engine, it has to run rich, more fuel than necessary, to protect the engine from high temperatures. That means higher fuel consumption exactly when you are pushing the hardest. Diesel never runs rich, always with far more air than fuel. At idle, a modern turbodiesel can run at 160 parts air to 1 part fuel. That is an extremely lean mixture. This works because diesel combustion is localized. The fuel is injected as a mist into a specific region of the cylinder, and burning only happens where fuel and air meet. In a gas engine, running too lean causes misfires and damage. In a diesel, it does not, because combustion is contained in a zone. Result: less fuel used to do the same work. But does diesel always win on the total cost? No. And this is where most people get it wrong. The diesel engine costs more to manufacture. Heavier duty components, stronger materials, more complexity. That cost goes straight into the vehicle. Price: a diesel Ram 1500 or an F250 Power Stroke can run $10,000 to $15,000 more than the equivalent gas version. And diesel SUVs and mid-sized trucks also carry a price premium. For diesel to make financial sense, you need to drive enough miles to let the fuel savings pay back that price gap. The industry rule of thumb is this: at least 25,000 miles a year. Below that, gas is probably cheaper in the total cost of ownership. Breaking that down, roughly 2,000 miles a month. If you drive less than that, gas likely makes more sense for your wallet. If you drive more, diesel starts to pencil out. Simple math. And almost nobody runs these numbers before signing the paperwork. Comment below how many miles a month you actually drive. Drop the number. We want to see live how many people watching would genuinely be better off with diesel or gas. And now the information we promised at the top, the one that most people who buy a used diesel truck wish they had heard before signing the contract. Diesel particulate filter. Modern diesel engines produce fine particles and nitrogen oxides during combustion. To meet emissions standards, these engines come with a complex after-treatment system. The main component is the diesel particulate filter, which captures those fine particles before they exit the exhaust. Brand new! It works perfectly! The filter self-regenerates on highway driving, where the engine runs at higher RPM and exhaust temperatures are hot enough to burn off the accumulated particles. Fully automatic, totally transparent to the driver. The problem starts as the vehicle ages. The filter gradually saturates. Regeneration fails. The filter clogs. The engine loses power. The warning light comes on the dash, and the truck goes to the shop. Replacing a diesel particulate filter can cost between 15 and 30% of the total vehicle value on a used pickup truck worth $30,000. We are talking $4,000 to $9,000 for one single part. Before labor. Most people buying used diesel trucks have no idea. They buy the truck, drive it for a while. The light comes on, they go to the shop, and the number on the estimate hits like a Tubi. Practical tip. Before buying any used diesel, ask your mechanic to specifically inspect the DPF system. Make it part of the pre-purchase inspection. It can save you a very ugly bill. So gas or diesel? There is no universally better engine. There is the right engine for your use case. Diesel makes sense if you drive a lot, take long highway trips regularly, tow or haul frequently, work in a rural setting where range matters, and are willing to pay more upfront and maintain the vehicle properly. The Ram pulling a gooseneck trailer on a ranch. The cargo van doing 500 miles a day on deliveries. The heavy-duty pickup that tows the boat every weekend. Gas makes sense if you drive mostly in the city, put on less than 2,000 miles a month, want a cheaper vehicle to buy and maintain, and like a truck or car that responds well in stop-and-go traffic. The F-150 with the EcoBoost that handles the daily commute. The Tahoe doing school runs and grocery trips. There is no absolute right or wrong. There is the engine that matches your actual life. If you made it this far, you already know more about engines than most people who sign a 72-month loan at the dealership without asking a single question about what is under the hood. Share this video with someone who is on the fence between diesel and gas. You might save them a serious chunk of money. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you do not miss the next one, where we are going to dig into hybrids and EVs without the dealership sales pitch. See you there.